During World War II, Japan created a deadly virus that could transform people into advanced zombies who were aware of their surroundings, and even hitting the zombies in the head wouldn't kill them. During the war, the Japanese army landed in Thailand, starting an invasion. The young Thai fighters showed great bravery and were determined to fight to the last person. But despite their bravery, they were continually pushed back by the powerful Japanese army, which was better equipped. The Japanese army then left a wooden crate on the beach containing the super virus that could turn soldiers into zombies. As Moke and his friends fled, they noticed someone chasing them. They attempted to escape, but none of them could survive the zombies chasing them. When Moke regained his senses, he found he was the only one left from his squad. Just then, Moke realized he had stepped into a swamp and soon was completely submerged. Then a hand reached out and pulled him from the swamp, but it was another zombie. When the High Command in Thailand saw the terrifying effects of the virus, they decided to stop fighting and prepare to surrender. Meanwhile, the Japanese army had no idea that the situation was getting worse. A group of Japanese soldiers went into the woods to clear the battlefield and found it filled with dead bodies. Suddenly, a massive horde of zombies charged at them. Bullets didn't work, so the soldiers had to use bayonets for close combat. However, when they rushed forward, the zombies had disappeared. The captain told his men to look for the zombies and chose to rest while waiting. But when the soldiers checked on the captain, they found that a zombie had bitten off his head. At that moment, the zombies attacked again and killed all the remaining soldiers. Shortly after, Mek, a soldier on patrol, found a lot of severed limbs and blood in the forest. Following the blood trail, he discovered a fellow soldier trapped in a pit. He tied a rope to a tree and climbed down to help, but the soldier was actually a zombie who lunged at Mek. He grabbed a wooden stick to defend himself and managed to stab him through the head. Meanwhile, Moke, who had been rescued from the swamp, woke up to find the zombies surrounding him, but they didn't attack because he had become a zombie too. It is revealed that the Japanese had created two types of the virus. The first type were highly aggressive, but the second type gave zombies self-awareness. Shortly after, a horde of zombies attacked a nearby village. Moke, not wanting to become a monster, picked up a gun to end his life. But just before he could pull the trigger, a strange fluid started coming from his body, and he suddenly caught fire. A zombie then charged at Moke, pushed him into the mud pit, and covered him with mud to extinguish the fire. That night, Moke woke up in a cave. The zombie that saved him during the day returned with some rabbits it had hunted and ordered them to stop eating human flesh. The other zombies eagerly looked at the food, but when the zombie that had brought Moke there roared, all the other zombies knelt in submission. This zombie was the Alpha from the second type of the virus. He had been a Japanese soldier who refused to invade other countries and was forcibly turned into a zombie. Moke secretly observed him and noticed that he's looking at a photo of his wife. While the others were sleeping, he went outside and saw his wife in his visions. Tears streamed down his face as he regretted abandoning his family. He then wished to turn into ash and return home. Moke watched in horror as the man turned into ash. Soon after, a team was sent to eliminate the zombies and discovered their location. Captain Nakamura instructed the others to hide and then cut open his arm to use the scent of his blood to lure zombies. A zombie quickly came after smelling the blood. They captured the zombie and took it back to their base, trying different methods to kill it. However, nothing worked, whether they used acid or bullets. To see if zombies still had human traits, the Japanese brought in the captured zombie's father. When the zombie saw his father, its emotions became uncontrollable. At that moment, the Japanese soldiers killed the father right in front of the zombie. Enraged, the zombie broke out of its cage, but instead of attacking the soldiers, it crouched down and began to eat his father's body. Concerned about their behavior, Nakamura decided to eliminate them all quickly. Meanwhile, the other zombies who still had some self-awareness gathered together and planned to return to the village and find their families. However, as soon as they entered the village and caught the smell of living people, they lost all sense of rationality. Driven by their extreme hunger, the zombies attacked the closest living individuals, eating them until they felt a temporary sense of satisfaction. One of the zombies looked up and saw his wife and daughter staring at him in terror. He tried to explain himself, but they fled into the forest. He followed them, but when his daughter fell to the ground, he hesitated to approach her and only called her name. When the daughter heard her father's voice, she ran toward him and cautiously touched his face. Just then, a group of soldiers arrived and shot a crossbow at him, but they mistakenly shot the mother and daughter instead. The loss of his family sent the zombie into a wild rage. At that moment, more zombies appeared, and a chaotic fight began between them and the Japanese soldiers. Moke, who had just arrived, grieved deeply as he held his uncle's dead body. Mek arrived and was shocked to see many zombies feeding on the remains of the Japanese soldiers. Then he noticed his brother Moke and thought that Moke was eating his uncle's body. Mek started shooting at his brother, pushing him to the edge of a cliff. Despite their bond, Mek cried as he shot Moke off the cliff. However, Moke jumped back and attacked his brother and turned him into a zombie too. As the number of zombies grew, the Japanese became afraid that the truth about them would be revealed. To cover up the disaster, they decided to collect the families of the zombies and burn them along with the zombies. Upon realizing that the Japanese soldiers were targeting their families, the zombies united behind Mek, ready to seek revenge. Meanwhile, the Japanese soldiers had gathered the zombies' families in a clearing in the jungle, preparing to execute them. Unbeknownst to the soldiers, the zombies had tracked their family scent and arrived just in time. When they saw their loved ones being killed, the zombies rushed out, crying and holding on to their family members' bodies. But suddenly, 4 iron gates rose around them. The Japanese had lured the zombies there to eliminate them all at once. But the iron gates couldn't hold back the furious zombies and soon collapsed. The zombies surged forward and attacked the Japanese soldiers. Realizing things were spiraling out of control, Nakamura threw 2 grenades to create smoke for their escape. Mek then sent 3 zombies as bait to lure the Japanese soldiers into the cave. Once the soldiers were inside, they were ambushed by zombies from all sides. However, the Japanese had prepared flamethrowers knowing that zombies feared fire. Flames erupted in the cave, allowing the few surviving soldiers to escape. But the cave had such a complicated layout that they became lost and couldn't find a way out. The zombies, who were very familiar with the cave, regrouped and launched another attack. Trapped in the narrow tunnels, the Japanese soldiers had nowhere to flee and were left to the mercy of the zombies. In the end, only Captain Nakamura managed to survive, lying in the mud. He had hoped to slip away unnoticed, but soon he was found by the zombies. Before long, the infected Japanese soldiers began to change and mutate. As Mek prepared to lead his zombie army in a final attack against their enemies, Moke appeared at the entrance of the cave with a flamethrower and aimed the weapon at his fellow zombies. Mek understood what his brother intended to do and gave him a military salute. Then flames erupted, consuming everything instantly. Mek didn't try to escape, but charged toward the Japanese soldiers, and the other zombies followed his lead, throwing themselves into the fire. Ultimately, Moke also jumped into the flames, choosing to find peace in the fire and end the infection once and for all.